All right, so it's 6:41 in the morning. I just woke up and um, I just had to record this dream I had so I won't forget it because it was crazy. All right, so in real life, I've been having this issue with my son, momma. So the issue carried over into this dream. So in the dream, I'm in these apartments called OP, Orchard Park Apartments, right? The apartments was different though in the dream. It had like between 4 and 6 flights. Like the buildings was pretty high, and somehow, even though in real life she been avoiding me, but in the dream I guess we was cool, and somehow she ended up over there in apartments. I don't know how. I ain't gonna try to speculate on it either. But somehow she ended up in the apartments, and we got to talking, and it wasn't nothing really to talk about. I just kept asking her, where my son at? Where my son at? I want to see my son and shit. And she was like, he outside and this and that or whatever. And he was playing and stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? With some other kids. So we, it's like she wanted to talk to me. So and deep down, I wanted to talk to her too. So we made conversation. So I'm like, asking her, what's been going on and shit. Like, why you avoiding me? You know what I mean? Why you want to let me see my son and all this and all of that? And she was talking and trying to explain herself. And then all of a sudden, uh, I turned around and I was like giving my son attention and shit. And I was like, talking to him and playing with him, trying to get to know him and stuff like that. And then when I had turned back around to look at her, she was talking to like this woman and like three big ass dudes and three or four big dudes. I think it was four actually. I think it was three. It was three or four. And the lady that she was talking to, she was aggressive and mean as fuck. You know what I mean? And kind of find out they was like some CPS type agents and shit. And she was like, okay, because she was like, where's your phone? You know what I'm saying? And she was like, she left it at the house or something like that. She didn't have it. And she was like, well, I'm going to give you like 5 minutes to go get it. And if you ain't here back in 5 minutes, we locking you up and we taking your kid. And it was all this drama and shit. So she was like, all right. So next thing you know it, the people had left outside to smoke a cigarette or some shit. And this one dude who didn't have nothing to do with it was talking shit. And I like chased that nigga. I was like, man, get your, you know what I mean, cussing him out and everything. Get your BA out of here, nigga, meddling and shit. This is some shit. Get the F out of here. And he was talking slick, walking off and shit, whatever. I let it be. So uh, the I'm trying to make sure I remember every detail. So at that point, uh, I had went outside. No, I had turned to her, and she was on the phone talking to my aunt Betty, and I'm like, who the fuck? I'm looking at her like, who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being nosy and shit. I'm like, who's she talking to? Like cause she kept looking at me. So I'm like, uh, I left. You know what I mean? I just let it be or whatever. So then she said, here, she want to talk to you. I'm like, what? Who is this? I get on the phone. It's my aunt Betty. I'm like, what's up, Aunt Betty? I'm like, how you know? I'm gonna call my baby mama Shell. I'm like, how you know Shell like that? And then she was explaining it to me or whatever, but I don't know. And then she was like, all right, well, put her back on the phone. So I put her on the phone, and and they end up hanging up. And I'm like, how you know my aunt Betty? How you know my aunt Betty and this and that? And she was like, I've been knowing her for a long time or something like that. I've been knowing her for a while or something like that. And I was like, man, that's crazy, like that or whatever. So she said I had to call her to make them think that I was calling her boyfriend, her dude at the time, and which is right now today. And and I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, damn, so what you gonna do? She said, shit, I ain't I'm about to cut out like that. So I went outside. They was all out there just talking, joking, talking slick, talking tough. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about me, how they fuck me up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I step out there, you know what I mean, make my presence known and shit. And and uh and then she comes out there and she was like talking slick to Shell. The lady was talking slick to Shell, so I got up in the lady's face, and she looked at like she was some type of sting or something. You know what I mean? In her eyes, and I'm like, man, you drunk like that? I'm like, you coming up in here drunk and shit, and you trying to take some of my kids and put pressure on people and shit. Like I was like just talking slick, and and the dude was like saying something. One of the dudes had left and he was on his way back, and let me see, yeah. So so I end up going in the house. And at this particular time, it was like back in the day when my cousin used, I had my auntie and my cousins just live in the same apartments. So I told her, I said, I'm about to get my son, and I'm about to take him over my auntie house like that. And so we all went, me and her, we went over there and shit. And one dude before we can actually, I had to find Julian because he wandered off somewhere. But we had stepped outside. He wandered off with the kids and went somewhere. So I was looking for him, calling his name and stuff, asking niggas. There's a bunch of kids and niggas. And I'm like asking these people. I'm like, man, y'all seen Julian like that? Y'all seen my son like that? And one dude was like, yeah, he been down the corner. He went down that way with the other kids and shit. So I went out there. I went looking for him. You know what I'm saying? I found him or whatever. And he was all cool and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I picked him up. He hugged me and stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I began to take him over to my auntie house. And one of the dudes was like talking slick or something, but somehow uh, it broke off into a fight. So I started fighting the dude, right? And I beat his ass. I whooped the dude. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Because, all my life, in real life, I always got to fight with big niggas and shit. So this nigga was big, so I whooped his ass. I was all excited and shit. Like the nigga didn't really have no fight, right? So uh after I whooped him, the other nigga was talking shit. He was like a badass. Like he had knives, he had a pistol, you know what I'm saying? And I was talking shit to all of them after I beat dude up. I was like, who next? Who next, nigga? Who next? And some shit like that. And dude was like, nigga, he was like, what? I got him. Like this, you know what I mean? He looked like he could, do some damage, you know what I mean? So I was like, what's up? You know what I mean? I'm squaring up with the nigga and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I end up uh he must have swung or he must have swung, took his shirt off, he must have swung or some shit, and I ducked or whatever, and then I got him, and then I was like beating his ass and shit, and then I took him and then I flipped his big ass and threw him across the ground and shit, man. And I was like, damn, I was so surprised of my strength and the way I was getting down and shit. So I you know what I mean? I flipped him on the ground and shit. He rolled and shit, and he got up and he said, he was like, he was all surprised and shit. And he was like, yeah, I got something for you. I got something for you, like that, and really lifted up his shirt because he had a pistol or whatever. And then what happened? I was like, oh shit, like that. Because he had pulled it out. I mean, it looked like he was already pull it out. So I was like, oh shit. So I cut out. I ran. You know what I mean? I didn't run away. I just ran for cover. And somehow we ended up getting outside. It was in the house. So we ended up outside, right? And he pulled all these knives out. That nigga had like 6 to 7 knives, but they wasn't no regular knives. They were like these long ass blades, and it was just a weird design on these motherfuckers. Like that motherfucker, these knives was weird, and somehow no, when before I went outside, when he lifted his shirt up and showed a gun, he also had those knives. And when I seen those knives, I grabbed a knife out the drawer. It was a little steak knife. So now when we outside, he somehow it was across the street. I was hiding, ducked down behind some cars, thinking he was gonna shoot at me. And he's like, "Yeah, nigga, I'm surgical with these knives, nigga. I'm gonna cut you up or some shit." It's talking slick and shit. So I'm like, I was like, F you nigga or something like that or whatever. I was talking slick back. And then when I had rose up to see where he was at or whatever, he was standing up. He had all these knives in his hand, like he was like tough with them and shit, like the way he was handling them or whatever. So when he saw me, he threw the knife, said, "Phew," and I can hear the wind of the knives coming towards me and shit. And it went right past me and stuck into the wooded gate. And then I was like, damn. I said, damn, that was pretty, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, that was pretty good or whatever. Like, but it was way off. It, and then I ducked down, and then I looked on the while I was ducking down. I peeked my head out on the side of the car because I was about to run. And when I did that, he threw another knife. It was another one that stuck in the gate. It was way off, right? And then he threw like so after that when I ran, he threw like two or three more, and he missed. So as I'm running, I got the steak knife and I throw something at him. It wasn't a knife. And he was like, ah, you little bitch, like that. He said, you hit me in the ass. Like that. And he fell on the ground on his belly. So I took the steak knife and I put it in. I said, "Yeah, nigga," and I like act like you know what I mean, like I could handle the knife and shit, like he was handling his knives or stuff, whatever. And I knew a little bit how to do the knife, but I wasn't no professional. So I took the knife and put it between my hands or whatever, and put two fingers up or whatever, however that shit go. And then I threw the knife right, and when it hit him, but it hit him sideways in the ass again. I was like, damn, like that. And he was like, nigga, you hit me in my ass again, like that, and whatever. And then he took that blade thing, sword, not I don't know what the fuck it was. It was a weird design. So he took it and he threw it, and it missed again. And he's like, ah, then fuck that. He was like, I got you, nigga. And he was standing up all cocky because I had nothing else to throw. So he was standing up all like he tough Tony and shit. And he was like, yeah, nigga, you see this? And he had a bullet and he put it down in the gun, right? And when he put it in the gun, I was like, oh shit. I said, oh, he only got one shot though. And he shot, boom, like that, and he missed. So I was like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm about to run up on him now. But then that nigga said, boom, boom, boom. That motherfucker started loaded like a motherfucker. So I ducked and I ran, nigga. And I ran towards my auntie house, towards because we was like on this. See, we was like in the area where my aunt Betty used to live at and shit. So I ducked down. I ran around a corner where the park and shit be at. For those who used to live in OP and shit, they know what I'm talking about. So I ran around the corner where the park is at, headed to my auntie house and shit. This nigga's for shooting like a motherfucker. But he missed every shot, right? So I gets to the house and Shell and my little boy there, and they was Shell. Um, I was telling her what happened or whatever, and she was on the phone with her dude, and I guess they was into it because she was like fuck him or some shit or whatever, and she was talking about how she wasn't going back. I was like, man, fuck that, you staying with me and some shit like that. And I said, this shit dangerous as hell like that. I said, you stand with me, right? Um, and I remember it was another fight too before all of that, and I beat the dude. I think the dude that was talking slick, that had nothing to do with it, came back, and he was cheering on the other guys or whatever. And I ended up beating his ass, and I whooped him and knocked him over the banister and shit. That nigga fell like between 4 and 6 uh, s- uh, s- flights of stairs and shit. And he got stuck, and he was hanging upside down. His leg got stuck in the railings or whatever. He was hanging upside down. That was earlier though in the dream. So so back to me with her. I'm talking to her like, I'm like, what the fuck is, you know what I mean? I'm looking at her, I'm like, damn, your ass is tall. Like, you know what I'm saying, because she's short in real life. I'm like, damn, your ass is tall. You taller than me, like that. And it was my cousin Terrence, my cousin T. He was in there. I was like, cousin, she taller than me, like that. And he was like, yeah, she got you. She was like 6'1". In real life, she like 5'4" or some shit. So let me see what happened after that. So uh I remember we was talking, and I don't know, I can't remember. I think that was it. But when I woke up, it woke me up. Now this is the second time tonight I didn't woke up. It had to get up because I couldn't go back to sleep and shit. Yeah, this is the second time. The first time I was dreaming about her ass too. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking to her about. I was like, man, I was like, what you got going on? Because I in the dream I told her, I said, what you got going on? Because I keep having these dreams about you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? She was like, my life is hell. And so my life is fucked up and stuff like that. And I was like, well, you know why, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Now you ain't doing the right thing by your son. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to take you from your nigga, man. I said, I just want a relationship with my son like that. And she was like, trying to talk and apologize and like, you can have your relationship with your son and this and that. And then she was just like apologizing and just so sorry and shit like that. And talking about how she'll make it up to me somehow, some way, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. Which I wasn't really tripping on that. I was just more tripping on having a relationship with my son. And but she felt bad and she was regretting it or whatever. And we let me see what happened after that, man. So we was talking. What But then I think I woke up after that, man. I'm gonna try to see. But I remember at the end we was just doing a lot of talking and trying to sort out this situation and stuff or whatever. And but the fucking TPS people, well, they didn't want they was gone. I don't know. They didn't want no smoke or whatever, or they was trying to get out of there before the police came. Cause I remember one part when the dudes was there, he had showed his gun before, and cause I had swelled up on him, nigga. I was like, nigga, you ain't no motherfucking police, nigga. Like that. I was like, nigga, fuck you. You ain't taking shit. You know what I'm saying? And and he said, I ain't gotta be a police. I got this though. And that's when he had flashed his gun. But but I think that was it though, boy. But the message that I instantly got from that would be dream. I guess it could have been just a dream, could have been a vision, could have been a message, but I really think it was a message because when I woke up, I heard this in my spirit or in my ear or something. It said that it told me, a voice told me, said he said, you are a warrior, like that. And and I guess that explains why I kept surprising myself when I was beating their ass and getting away and ducking and dodging bullets and knives and shit. I believe the message was to inform me that I was a warrior. And but I do remember when I was running from the motherfuckers, I was ran out of breath. And I was like, okay, I'm a cold motherfucker, but I ain't got no wind. So that's when I was like, it's also the message. It was like, man, you need to put those damn cigarettes down. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep putting them down and picking them up in real life and shit. But uh, the dream was trying to show me that I really need to put them down, though. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, man, I just thought I needed to record this and maybe reflect on it a little later or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a crazy dream, man.